We just went off
Uh,
intro. Thank you all for joining us on our session 0 campaign. We're doing a little bit of character introduction. Might not get too far. We're updating all the artwork and everything else, but next week we'll size. But I feel like everybody would enjoy seeing a little bit of this.
yes, indeed. So we are starting in the kingdom of... Whoa. Oh, picked the wrong map. We are starting in the kingdom of Aetherra, which is a sprawling pass centered around a large mountain. This mountain used to be all the way up to a peak until it was discovered that it was in fact a volcano. This volcano did not show any signs until it erupted ages ago, with only the smallest of settlements around it. After that eruption, however, it went dormant, leaving a large crater at the top. Over the years, it was believed that there was a settlement that moved into there, as there was a great source of power that was referred to as the Aether. What started as something not fully understood, but was a mineral that worked as a metal, but could also be refined down to a blue powder-like substance, was found to be able to enhance magical items, supplement spells, or even be advanced into more complex technologies. Aether powder refined was able to perform all sorts of feats like powered wagons, even generating light in people's houses, and started an overall system of an advancement of technology that was partially removed from magic. This substance that had been in the heart of the volcano helped drive the kingdom of Aetherra to be a thriving metropolis, as year by year, as the mountaintop collected rainfall, this crater that had arisen from the volcano began filling up, turning into the Chrysal Lake. At the center of it was the jutting little pinnacle that turned into Fano Island, which was the metropolis of the thriving industry that was from Aether production. This went on for hundreds of years, with Fano being an affluent and thriving capital, centered in the middle of Mount Testera. However, through a number of circumstances, from corruption, poor decision making from the leadership, overpopulation, and a number of other issues, Fano slowly started to diminish in its influence, burgeoning into being overcrowded, crime-ridden, corrupt with infighting and politics and government. It remains to this day something of a capital, but far less of the aesthetically amazing city that it once was. The infighting was growing to a head as Fano was divided into essentially 3 organizations that were overseeing different parts of the city with different responsibilities in there. Of the 3, they started developing into the 3 orders, each of them with their own council of 9. There was the Order of Spira, which were known as the defenders of the downtrodden, the protectors of the poor, the guardians of the city itself. The Order of Spira was an organization of paladins and clerics and lawkeepers that were at one time greatly regarded, but have certainly turned to start leveraging that influence for their own. at their worst being seen as bullies and looters who inflict their whims on the populace, they took their position as guardians of the monarchy and began to leverage that position to the betterment of their own influence. As for the last 60 years or so, the Guardians of the Order of Spira has been seen as enforcers for their own whims. The second, the Order of Indos, has been the ones attempting to maintain contact with or connection with older knowledge, the older ways of doing things. They're seen as the keepers of knowledge and secrets. They are something of the records keepers, the librarians. They're privy to all sorts of various information and have developed a rather enigmatic council and using their knowledge to their advantage every way that they could. Almost developing into a secret police sort of organization as well. The third order is the Order of Esha, primary financiers of the city. They are the most outspoken to the corruption and decay. They have been attempting to exert more influence on Fano of late, as they've been using their positions to spread dissent wherever they could and undermine the leadership that the Order of Spira, the defenders, the guardians, have taken of late. There is a good deal of drama unfolding there as they are rather actively being outspoken against the Order of Spira and Indos in a bid to gain sole control over the city. The Order of Esha, the financiers, has one prominent member amongst them, Madame Emperor, who is all of your employers, as her own business has been utilized in some ways to further that agenda. It is still, at its core, a business. As Madame Empress Forge is one of the most prolific and one of the more profitable endeavors of the order. It is, though not the lead producer, it is the most influential, as it has the most interaction with the most industries, the most artisans, and things like that. The Forge has been the forefront of moving a number of these agendas forward, and also of the errands and the contact making for the Order of Esha. The city of Fano is somewhat isolate from the other assemblies around the base of the mountain or even near the peaks, as Mount Tessiterra is making it difficult travel for the other towns to get to there, because you have to ascend the mountain and then take one of the ferries across the lake to this isle. It used to be so trafficked that the ferry would have to run every hour of the day to bring people to and from Fano. But since its loss of influence, it's dwindled to 1 or 2 ferry trips a day of bringing people in. On this day, all of you are on this ferry into Fano, however. Before we go further, does anyone have questions from what I've said so far?
Yeah, can you repeat all of that? I missed it.
You bet.
No, I'm kidding.
How long, kind of what time period are we talking about in terms of the influence of Fano kind of being not as grand a city as it was? So is it sort of like 20 years, 30 years, 40 years? What kind of time scale?
So it's hard to pinpoint the moment where its influence shifted precisely, but it would be guessed that the downfall started about 80 years ago. The thing that really sort of broke the back of it, however, was the fact that the king and queen of the kingdom have gone missing. They've been missing for decades. Their son, the prince, has not been seen for years.
Okay, so it's a monarchy essentially. This.
The kingdom itself is a monarchy, with Fano being the capital. Yes. And so while there's some speculation that the downfall started to take hold 70 or 80 years ago, objectively it has fallen into pure neglect, and a lot more mayhem and dissent opened in the streets once the king and queen vanished and the prince turned into a recluse. It is known, or at least believed, that the prince is alive and present, as he had been seen within the city since the disappearance of his parents, and the Order of Spira has been tasked with his protection. He's not emerged for years. There's much discussion of whether he's gravely ill or some inept fool that has to be locked away to keep from ruining the kingdom, or if he's just turned into what would the word be, a party boy.
Mhm.
Okay.
But regardless, he has been yep.
So essentially, he's just like a figurehead, and these three factions are the real power vendors in the city, or in the
Precisely, yes.
Can
And
I
that has certainly.
Can I do a history check or some check to make sure, with my underground contacts, to see if it is drug influenced?
Have I seen him at the
yes,
club?
You have not seen him at the club. This is
So
something
he's not
in
a
itself.
playboy.
Ah,
If he is, it's the sort that like brings the hookers home to his place and has someone
Yeah.
as a contact who delivers them.
I'm not in this circle, it appears.
Damn.
There's certainly speculation in your circles of like, gotta be drugs. Like, what else could it be? But that originates more from when you deal in drugs, you think it's drugs.
Fair.
Makes sense. Checks
Um,
out.
the other thing that has created the biggest problem is that given the Order of Spira have leveraged their position to become the guards of the monarchy, they have sole and complete responsibility in the protection of the Prince Aaron, as his name is, as essentially they deliver his messages, his will, his orders to the people under the explanation that they're protecting him and he tells them what he wishes. This has made the exasperation much higher because everyone else just sees that as them doing what they want.
I 100% was about to be like, I'm very disappointed that it's not.
Hey, Rod.
That it's not what?
It's Aaron.
Aaron?
Aaron? So with the Order of Spira delivering all of the messages for Aaron, that has been the case for 2 full decades.
Oh wow.
Damn.
Wait, so
there's
he's
been
just the prince.
there's been this corporate entity representing the prince's will for over multiple decades.
Precisely.
Oh,
Not necessarily corporate, it's more of like a police force. But yes.
I feel like that makes it even worse.
Yes, it does. It kind of does.
If it's secret
government
and it's police, it's bad.
The true downfall of Fano started to really become visible and evident about 18 or 19 years ago, a little over a full year into Prince Aaron's absence. Given that at first the understandable excuse was with the threat being to the king and queen and their disappearance, and Prince Aeron being young, of course they were going to keep him guarded away and out of sight, wait for his emergence. But as the years went on and they're like, we still haven't seen him and he's a full-grown man now, this might be the time to bring him forward. The tensions have escalated more and more to the point where now there's like open protests in the streets, and the Order of Esha is able to foment protests in the streets now, as the tensions between the three orders has come to brazen, where before it was subterfuge, secret operations, things like that. Now they're able to have like riots. As
So
you're
there
on
was
the ferry
no
coming-
declared
Mhm.
like regent when he was gone. There was
No.
no like declared regent. It was just the three factions fighting for control.
Precisely. And the Spearin Order was able to solidify their position as the Ursat's regents simply because they were responsible with the protection of the prince. And if he didn't emerge, they were able to be the voice for the prince.
I might have missed it, Corn.
Gotcha.
Did you say what happened to? Was there a king or queen? Like, did they
There
go missing?
was. They have been missing for decades.
For
The
decades.
king and
Okay.
queen have never had their bodies found, and the only person who can declare them dead is the prince, and he has not done so yet.
Okay,
Mm.
that's. I was wondering why you kept referring to him as prince, and there's no king and queen.
Yep.
Got it.
That has added to the confusion and the tension within the city, and by extension the empire, because his unwillingness to declare them dead and take the full position as king keeps everything in a limbo where the Spearin Order has more authority. Because if he were king, he would be obligated to come out making declarations, having that authority. But so long as he's refusing to take up that mantle, the prince is essentially the regent, and the order is like the czar for that.
Got it. Yeah. Okay.
And so it's left the city of Fano something on a political breaking point right now.
I'm gonna say that's like a powder keg right there. That's like
Yeah.
1918.
Without a
Russia.
doubt.
Imagine
And
we're
it's
all
time
on
to
the
eat
same
cake.
ferry right now. Like-
You are all on the same ferry rolling in.
I imagine that Torek would be like pretty reluctant towards Plug. Hey, I knew that we were I knew we were kind of getting back together, but you don't have any of the, well, when we were gonna do you don't got the stuff with you, do you?
Have I ever not had the stuff?
Can
Of
I,
course I
That'll be
have it.
65 gold.
Well, I mean, you
Can
have
I,
had the previous
Can
debts,
I
but you do know every single hit is 15 gold at least.
Yeah,
You-
yeah. I know.
I mean, your credit is always good here. But you do know we're already about 40 in the hole.
Hold another
mean-
one for me.
I mean, timetables are a factor.
Hold another
s-
for me. On
Are
this, and he hands him 5 gold. On this. Just
Of
hold another for me.
course. Of course.
If we need it, well, I got it. If you need it, if I got it, if I need it, then we'll have it.
As long as you're willing to maybe make up some of this dispensation in trade, I may call on you.
I can make things for you, but I can't make things for you. I will. Yes, everything will be great.
Oh, I'm sorry. Do you want the vial?
Uh,
Because I do
We're
have
kinda
other
listed.
customers that are coming later.
Do you like a ditty? Would you like a sound tune? Something just for you.
When I ask you to do something, will you do it? It might be worth 10 gold against your credit.
Make it 20, and I don't need the vial right now.
Absolutely. Pulls out a small journal, writes 20 gold credit for my redemption when I want it. Well, of course, you just let me know when you need it.
Right.
Of course, I will always take care of you. And I put a hand on his shoulder. Don't you worry. I know what you need, and I will get it to you. Just do not go against what I ask when we need payment.
More. He says more. He kind of like shrugs off, plugs in.
A big, strong man like you obviously needs his supplements. I will absolutely supply. So far, your credit has been so good here. Don't you worry.
Can we all hear this conversation, or are we on like different parts of this boat or ferry? Is it quite a large ferry?
It's relatively large as you're on different parts. This ferry is called the Lake Spirit.
Does it have a bar?
As it does not have a bar. It is not a high-end operation, sadly. I know. As you're sailing across the lake here, the Lake Spirit is
flask then.
is not flashy at all. But as you're sailing across, this is something of the view here.
Did you get it?
That's pretty awesome. Yeah.
I did not get it.
Oh.
I know. It's been biting the shit out of me all night. As Crisal Lake looks like this, it is quite beautiful and surreal as you are beneath the level of the lip of the mountain. You are in this like caldera-like experience, as getting to here involves coming up to the lip, taking stairs or rope ladders, or if you have the coin for it, a mechanical lift down to the water's level, and then taking the ferry across. The Lake Spirit's clearly been designed for ages past, as it is a ferry designed to be able to transport a little over 150 people per trip. However, this trip that you're on has fewer than 30 people on it, and it does only one trip a day right now, whereas the ferryman is telling you that he used to run 12 or 11 trips a day if the winds were with him. So there's certainly parts that our man Plug here could be out of earshot of everyone else. Plug, could you describe for us once more what you look like?
Plug is a very slim build, very serpentine-esque figure. As you can see, sort of a long tail leading up to a robe of pretty good quality. Like, he cares about his appearance. and you can obviously see pieces where the robe has been enhanced and reinforced with other stuff, though it is a very subtle sort of pick on thing, but he's pecking. But he has a sort of serpentine head, 2 arms, and a tail leading on, or where his legs should be is just a solid tail. He looks like a reasonably well-off person, but definitely one that you would not want sort of any of your friends or close relatives talking to. A little bit flashy in some of the engravings in some of his robes, but if you're at a club and you're looking for a guy that probably has cocaine, it's probably Plug.
Not that immediately making me be like, no. Like, I know what he looks like.
Yeah.
What color scales does Pluck have?
More like grayish blue, maybe a little bit of purple mixed in, and then a very light under scale. Like if you look at the top half is very sort of bluish gray, but the bottom half is more a kind of or sort of light beige.
Okay. And speaking with him, Torek, why don't you tell us about Mr. Weirdburn or Wordburn?
Weirdburn. So what you got is a rock gnome. He's bigger than what you would consider most rock gnomes. He almost, like, at a glance, kind of looks almost like a dwarf. But he's a little short. And the idea that his strength is like something he kind of encompasses. He's kind of musculature, but
So
he's
he's
got
got a
these...
cutoff shirt.
Nah. T-shirt. He's good. He wears gladly wears his overalls as like a kind of like a point of station, I guess, is something that he would always want to be recognized as someone that is a handyman, if you will. He's got just the wildest beard, kind of forked out, and kind of some lightning bolts, and his mustache is just almost out of control. So very atypical of a gnome's facial hair, but he otherwise appears as just a very big, almost scatterbrained kind of gnome, if you will, with some blue overalls and a very dark, almost red-brown kind of shirt.
Okay. On the other side of the ship, Bodhi, what are you in the middle of doing?
I would imagine Bodhi is enjoying the view and the trip on the ferry, seeing new places and taking it all in. With the image that you showed us, I think it is quite pretty. So I think Bodhi would be he would be looking around and taking it all in, having never been to Fano before, and enjoying the ride, as it were. Probably tucked away by himself on perhaps the top deck, maybe towards the front of the ship, and just sort of leaning against the gosh, I've forgotten what the name of the part of the boat is, but yeah, thank you very much. Yeah, leaning against the railings, I would imagine. Do you want me to describe what he looks like as well?
Yes,
Yes,
sure.
please.
So Bodhi is a tall, wiry Herringon. He has got brown and kind of amber fur. He looks to be sort of a very sort of relaxed, quite a chill character. Very little would seem to sort of openly or faze him. He is wearing a very old, kind of beat-up set of chainmail, carrying a traveler's backpack and a old wooden hammer. He's also wearing a wide brim hat, which his ears are sort of poking through. He looks a little disheveled. Looks like he's sort of traveled a great deal. His clothes are a little bit worn and torn, and he isn't wearing any shoes as such, but the rest of him is, pretty well covered. And he has a sort of a bit of a sort of smile on his face. That would be sort of his resting kind of expression.
The opposite of resting bitch face.
No, that's me normally, but no, he's got a
resting dude face.
There you go, a bit of a resting dude face. And he's generally wearing a sort of a blue kind of like cloak, and his sort of chainmail has a bit of a green sort of tint to it. Doesn't look like it's anything special as such, but he is been wearing traveler's clothes, and he looks a little bit sort of unkempt in general, but certainly the kind of guy who would be quite happy to have conversation if you were to approach him. Maybe he'd talk your ear off before you'd realize that you'd have to step away from the conversation to get him to stop.
Shivering Rivik. What are you doing and what do you look like?
Not shivering.
Shivering Rivik.
Okay, so you know how Bodhi just described himself? Exact opposite. So Rivik, he's actually at the. Did you say you were at the bow or the stern?
Up to you. Like everyone's kind of spread out, so.
Okay, yeah, Rivik would be at the bow.
It depends if you were with Plug. Well, we had that other scene over there.
No, he would be at the bow of the boat.
Okay.
So he's sitting at the bow of the boat, looking forward as the ship gets closer and closer to Fano, and he's smoking the fattest cigar you've ever seen. Like, it could be a branch of a tree for all good intents. And he
Anyone
is
Austrian who would have a word or two about that.
And he's smoking his cigar with his feet up, and he's sharpening his short sword. And what he looks like, he is. We'll get the basics out of the way. He's a very height-wise, average height human male. Very dark complected to the point of, very dark complexion. Very wiry and lithe. Like you could tell he's strong. Lithe. Sorry. Pitons.
Titans.
Damn straight.
Holds on a piton. Jabs
Don't
it into the
start
side.
with this again.
Yeah. I mean, he doesn't look like, he doesn't appear exceptionally strong, but he looks like the kind of guy, if you got punched by him, you'd feel it like for the next week. So he has like the palest blue eyes like you've ever seen, almost to the point of being just like white.
Sounds dreamy.
Yeah. But like he's the type of guy, if he looked at like a baby or a dog, it'd make him cry or whimper. Like he's got this intense aura around him to the point of being borderline menacing. And he's covered like head to toe in tattoos that have a very druidic motif. I mean, he looks like the kind of guy that would be like an Aryan biker gang, but without the racism. If I'm being blunt.
That makes up like 95% of what they are.
Insights.
Well, I don't want to bring
sure
that into the
he
picture.
specifically doesn't have those 6 tattoos that make it.
He doesn't have specifically those.
There are no Iron crosses. There are no Celtic crosses.
He looks like an Aryan biker who's not racist, so he looks like a guy.
Yeah, bartender at the dive bar, basically.
Yeah.
See, isn't that just so much easier? This is why we call you the Shiverer.
That's it, I quit.
No, Corin, that was his last character because he froze so many times.
Boo.
I was just trying to bring up a touchy.
I wasn't even going to acknowledge that.
Oh, don't worry. We will cover that for you.
Worst freak ever.
Yeah.
Honestly.
Here's a pic of him in the chat.
So yeah, a very unfriendly sort of guy.
But I can fix him.
I mean, he's not racist, so he's halfway there.
Yeah, he's halfway there.
As long as he's not misogynistic, that is like 85% better.
Well, it depends on the job. Next character.
And speaking on that topic, Fontaine. Let's find out if you and Rivik can be friends.
Up on the bow as well, I'm assuming this is the smoking section. Since he was smoking a cigar, I have one of those like cigarettes on the very, very, very like long, fancy extender filter things.
Cigarette holder?
Cigarette holder?
Yep.
And I don't know, I don't smoke. But like just taking small puffs off of that and taking swigs off of a flask.
Sounds really lithe.
Yeah, lithe. She has like porcelain pale skin, and the like platinum blonde hair, that is in that like curled sort of coiffed, like 1950s bombshell sort of look. She has like a sparkling blue-gray eyes, and they are lined with just like a flick of jet black eyeliner, to just add that little bit of drama. And then she has like those high cheekbones, very like Marilyn Monroe, small heart-shaped face. She does have on her signature crimson lip, and she also is doing this sort of like pouty, poised, like in between smile or telling you a secret Marilyn like signature look. She does also have on currently, she has her, well, 2 horns that are very noticeable coming out of her head as well. Is the only thing interrupting the perfectly coiffed hair. And then she does have on a like silver beaded, basically like dressy gown. That sort of gives like her skin that like wet look. But yeah, that is her. She's like that person who just stepped out of a Rolls Royce in old.
Classy.
As you're on that section of the ship, you can see one of the attendants of the ferry come over with a small silver tray and go, "Might I provide for you a drink, madame? Compliments of the captain."
Oh yes, that would be absolutely amazing. If you could get a cold champagne or prosecco.
The poor attendant just like blinks at you for a moment and goes, "Ma'am?" Were those words?
Martini? Shaken? Not stirred? Extra dirty.
I could provide wine for you, forgive me.
Okay. Whatever you have.
Right, one bubblish is coming up.
The eyes slightly roll.
Are you requiring more, Madame Fontaine?
Wait, sorry, what did you say?
Are you requiring more to your drink? I could help if you want.
And help. But you do want it.
I'm okay for now, Plug. I will possibly take you up later.
I'm always here. Don't you worry.
You always are.
As you're sailing across the lake here, looking around, you are surrounded by the mountainous sides where a massive wall has been built into the side of the mountain for miles along the shoreline, casting a shadow over the lake, sending it into a deep, deep clear blue, which is contrasted by where the sunlight hits, which gives it a beautiful turquoise color to it. You can see fishing boats and barges freckle the ripples of the water here, and you can see manic gulls swooping and dive bombing, going for the fish. At the center of the lake, an enormous island sprawls across, like some hand rising out of the lake, emerging from the waters. Amid the groves of oaks rising up from this island, a substantial city constructed of ivory stonework spreads across. On the northern side, there's gilded towers rising far higher than any other part of the island. There is a castle of staggering grandeur in that section there, jutting up from the rocky precipices of one of the higher hills. The center part of the island bustles with activities as you can make out roads and avenues connecting shops to housing to parklands, and the southern extreme section is an island of docks with bridges stretching across, connecting from the smaller part to the main hub, as the southern part seems to be a great harbor, ports connecting everything in what you know to be the supervised domain of the Order of Esha. Your own destinations aboard this ferry. Above it all, there is a lighthouse overlooking it in mist-shrouded domain, as this caldera seems to just catch and collect fog, and parts of it just hovering over the water. As you're moving around the island, heading towards its southern section, you can hear a booming voice ringing out from the docks. You recognize this voice as you've heard it at one point or another in your employment of the Forge, as this is the voice of Madame Emperor herself, beloved Eshin leader in the city of Fano. As you can clearly hear the voice carrying over the water, you hear, "I see your gloom written on your downtrodden faces. I see your bloodied hands cracked and calloused as they try to put food on your family's tables. But, tragically, it's all in vain. In these late days, those who work their hands to the bone receive a mere pittance for their sweat. Our precious city quivers in fear and despair. Who is there to blame for this? Surely not the sailor who earns their wage bringing in the catch that feeds your bellies, nor is it the merchant bringing their goods to market. But be not mistaken. I do cast blame. I cast blame upon the vile Murkwa that stains our docks, violet and plagues the hulls of our ships. Its foul tendrils corrupt the good creatures of this island and vex our citizens. But does Spira do anything about it?" And after a moment, you can hear an emphatic no roar from the lips of 1,000 people in a crowd that are clearly being addressed with this booming amplification of Madame Emperor's voice. As it drowns out the voice of Madame Emperor for a moment, she pauses before she resumes her tirade as you hear her calling out, "The monarchy has fallen. It is the time for us to face this. Prince Aaron sits upon his castle, lost in lunacy or drug-riddled mind. Those of his servants who have tried to save him from the milk of madness have themselves become hopelessly lost, as the Spirin gods have no honor. They have not hesitated to disappear citizens like you who would bring the truth of this case.
Well,
No longer the servant..." Go ahead.
Well, I mean, the classification of it as milk of the unknown is purely bullshit. It's very well known.
It's not the same milk you've. It's not the same milk you've given me, is it not?
No, it's not.
Okay. Yes, it must. Then it must be what. It must be what Empress is saying.
Well, if you actually look at it, she's going to argue that the difference between D9 milk of the poppy is different than D9 milk of the poppy in its acidic molecule, which is completely bullshit to the contrary development of the legal laws. And he just starts rambling for like about 5 minutes about the molecular difference between what she's arguing.
As he snaps out of his tirade when Madame Emperor declares her intention to criminalize all consumption of drugs to eradicate this issue.
What?
As the speech goes on, she's clearly on an angle of calling on the people to stand up, as you can hear her saying for a long tirade that was interrupted by Plug of how Spirit Guards are no longer the servants of the meek or humble. Trust me, good people! It's the lot of you who has the power to take control and make a new order. As there's shouts and applause continuing, she continues on with the Order of Indos. Burdened with the duty of guiding us to the future, they now dwell only in the past, delving into ancient knowledges for only their betterment. They know the cause of this plague that is the Merquois, as there's like disbelief and shouts and denying. Indeed, it is true. They have seen such things before. Are we to believe that they, guardians, gatekeepers of all the ancient knowledges, do not know how to treat this suffering that we are finding ourselves in? As she pauses, there's no more decrying it as people seem to be lost in thought about this. But what of Esha? We, the ones that deliver the food, the tools you need to keep Fano running. And then here she just shouts out, "We are mighty!" As you can hear Mighty shouted back from the crowd, screaming along, "We are the strength of the trade winds. We are here to put the food and money in your hands and pockets where it belongs and where it does best."
Knowingly just like throws his fist as high as he can in the air. at a whopping just like 5 foot. He's just like, mighty, that's me. He just pumps out as hard as he can.
As she's continuing to rile the crowd up, she's starting to feed them like one-liners and such. As she comes to the end of this tirade, you hear her calling, "Whether rich or poor, ordained in gold or drab, who you are is all that you have. Do not let those with power tell you otherwise." As the crowd is fermenting here, you can hear chants and calls just as your ferry is pulling into the harbor. As you are arriving just over around here, you're coming around into view as it seems to be an assembly of about 1,000 people being addressed in this crowd just at the docks. And as you pull up and the hands come and tie off the ferry, you can just start to see the crowd disperse. As the dock hands here are shaking their heads, some of them seeming to be in a disagreement, others nodding along and talking amongst themselves, helping all of you off, taking your luggage, extending gangways, and escorting you along. You can hear one of them saying, "Did you catch the show? Seems you're arriving into Fano fresh in time to watch it all burn down."
There will always be more. Civilization never dies. It may reconfigure itself, but it does not die.
I know a thing or two about a flame. It still needs some oxygen to puff it up.
The dockhand just like blinks at you and goes, "Oxygen?"
Yes, the things that we breathe in. You breathe it, I breathe it, we all breathe it.
Well, I don't know what you're breathing down there, Pipsqueak, but up here we call it air.
Yes. Well, anyways, as you were Plug, please tell.
Jimothy, great to see you again.
Timothy.
It's Darren. Thanks.
It's not. Do you have anybody in your family? Oh, I'm so sorry, Darren. Thank you so much for taking us in. We have a bit of a special matter. We might need to get to the central island. I know
As
you
you're
have to-
saying this, and he's like unloading your bags and things, he accidentally like drops both of yours into the water.
What have you done? No! Get it back! Get it back!
I'm gonna
Ooh,
shove. I'm
Terribly
gonna shove
sorry there,
Darren.
friend. Maybe you
gonna
could ask
shove
Jimothy
Darren.
to give you a hand. He's a better swimmer than I.
Well, get him down here, and we need to recover those bindles. It is very important. The princess ordered these supplies delivered directly.
Friend, but there's no Jimothy who's here working, so I guess, well, you're just in a bit of spot of trouble.
Can I shove Darren into the water and be like, fetch?
You can give me an athletics check, yeah. As he seems to have been taking issue with getting called by the wrong name.
Yes,
You
down
do
there.
catch him though, as he lands with a splash in the water, but tries to play it off. As he's like, "You see, I was just jesting. I've got it. I've got it."
Can I be monitoring whoever's unloading my trunks?
Yes,
And
I wouldn't have
trunks, I
imagined
mean
anything else.
multiple trunks. Trunks on trunks on trunks.
What the? We're starting equipment.
Just trunks on trunks.
Just clothes.
3,600
It's all
pounds of
up. It's
starting
all
equipment.
outfits. It's all
Yeah.
outfits.
Clothes. Just clothes.
It's just clothes. Clothes, heels that go with each outfit.
I think Torek would just kind of like manhandle his own stuff to make sure there was obviously no assault or any potential that they could rust the tools and equipment he's brought.
Yeah, Rivik,
As
Rivik would just glare at anyone who comes anywhere close to, like, he only has like a backpack and like maybe like a carrying bag for like a bow and some swords and stuff, but he would glare at anyone to you just like, yeah, touch it and find out.
as you're all offloading here, the lake sprite is gently rocking as it bumps against the docks. There's anglers and traders going about their business on the docks as well, who like were on the outskirts of the crowd and listening in. As the smells of water-soaked wood and tar waft up from the water and the nearby cargo ships, it hangs thick in the air, along with a rather pungent smell that smells almost like wild green algae that's fermenting,
Okay.
as it has this almost sweet aroma coming up from the water as well.
No, isn't that a
The
mighty unique
dockhands-
smell?
Oh, is this your first time coming in for the Merquois?
I have been before, but the smell is unique every time, I feel.
He gestures towards a patch of violet moss that is just bobbing in the water there. You can see other patches of it along the hulls of some of the other ships, and some of it has washed up to the shore. It has a right terrible smell to it once it sits in the sun for a bit.
One can only imagine. Now, thank you
You'll
for being
probably
so...
pick that for Eden.
No.
My
Thank you for
Eden.
being so careful with my trunks there. Thank you so much.
Maybe we can.
The dock hands are like, oh, we're always happy to do it for one who expresses their gratitude.
Absolutely. Nobody would be anywhere without y'all.
Precisely, which is why it's such a good thing that our customers are generous with their gratitude to enable us to stay being here and diligent. As he just like stands there.
I think he's asking you for some money. You gotta give it to him?
Everyone's always asking for money. All the time.
Yeah, I don't think he's gonna go away though.
Even my good friend Plug here, he's just always asking me for money.
Well, I've no desire to go away, but
Can I
such as
like,
things are now,
Can I
might have to
grab
look for
his
other
hand
work.
and put, let's do 3 silver in there.
Yeah.
I do have a good quantity
He-
of euphoria. Is that what your crewmen are looking for?
Oh, don't touch the stuff myself. As he disappears the 3 silver and resumes moving the bags along.
I missed absolutely
Wait.
all of that. My internet took a shit right at the right time. I
I
missed
offered
after
them
I put the 3
Molly, and
silver in his
they
hand.
refused.
Oh. I put 3 silver in his hand and then it said, eh. I was like, ooh, what happened?
As you finish unloading, you can see one figure dressed in dark green with like turquoise blue trim come forward with a sigil of the forge. As he gives a slight bow and says, "Thank you all for coming. I trust that your voyage was tolerable. My name is Master Denar of the Forge. I am to be your contact whilst you are here on Fano. Mistress Emperor was saddened that she could not welcome you herself, but as you may have heard, she is in the midst of most pressing matters.
I'd sure
There-
say that was a mighty good welcome, actually, to here, and that it was nice that we could hear one of her famed speeches and how it riled up the crowd.
Yes, Madam
I
Emperor is
am
something...
looking forward to just making sure the Forge's power is always present.
Yes. Madam Emperor is one who prefers not being in the limelight or giving speeches, but in these times, she feels it is her most civic duty to extol change and progress for the betterment of all of Fano. And she has found herself needing to be in the forefront for that. I am delighted you could hear some of that extolation. If you'd care to follow me, I can escort you to quarters provided by the Forge and get you situated, as I understand there is much work to be done for you all. I was instructed by Madam Emperor to inform you that Forge Master Inez requires some great help in retrieving some raw materials and to meet her at the Forge headquarters. But such things can be seen to on the morrow, as I'm sure you're weary from your travels.
It has been quite the expense for us to come out. I'm glad. Please let
Which is
us
such
do these
good
latter.
news that the Forge is generous with its employees, then, is it not?
Calculated, I would
Generous
say.
is the term.
We're all here for a reason, yeah?
Sorry?
We're all here for a reason, yeah?
Yes, of course. I do believe some stipends and per diem will be provided to you all, if you'll follow me this way. As you're here, I believe it is some of your first time, Stefano. Are there any questions I might be able to answer for you as we make our way?
Well, we see quite a protest. Of course, prohibited or spurred by our mistress, which is, of course, the way of things, but it seems there's a large amount of contention against the northernmost island, Spira.
We prefer not to see it as being against Spira, but beseeching them to do better in service to Fano. We are not wanting to wade into the depths of politics or conspiracy, but we are hoping by encouragement and beseechment from the masses for them to reach the potential and the promises that they themselves have made in the past. We do not wish to make it sound more hostile than anything of that nature, just as we trust any of our compatriots would do were Esha falling behind in its tasks and duties.
That is fair. No taxation without representation. That's absolutely what I believe.
Now, if we can move on from the docks, that'd be amazing. The smell is really starting to hit the back of my nostrils.
Oh, yes,
Like you need
Yes.
a mustache. It kind of plugs the nostrils so you don't have to deal with this as much, madam.
What?
But
But you,
if you don't have one, I can give you mine. A little bit, of course.
I am okay, but thank you so much.
you did suggest that we had lodging as we gather our crisps on this mission.
I will be escorting you to such.
Excellent.
And is there going to be a carriage or something coming to get the trunks and luggage?
No.
Okay. And I'm just gonna sort of look around and I'm gonna look for like the strongest looking men I can find.
Well,
I'm not
but-
carrying them myself. Like I'm
Obviously
not
not.
carrying them. Like I can't do that.
Or kind of, pushes his sleeves up a little more and he kind of flexes a little bit. And... Oh, ma'am, how many bags you got?
6 full trunks.
6.
You can carry all that, can't you? And Bodhi will take a step back and just expect to see Torrent try and carry all of this. I think it's very funny.
Or puts his own bag on. He puts like his utility belt on, and he attempts to
This
grab.
is where you
all
discover
sorts of
the
bags.
straps and handles of the bags are too long for you to reasonably get
Yeah,
off the ground.
exactly.
You have to hold
He
them up
attempts to
here.
grab.
You just got to
Yeah,
get on your tiptoes there. You know, you can do it. You can do it.
Like,
Yeah, mine
you're
are
strong
like
enough to lift him, but they drag on the ground.
see, I am like when I say trunks, I mean like Titanic traveling trunk. Like
steamer trunks.
giant steamer trunk. Like
Yeah,
6
those are
of those.
not light, dude.
6 of them.
I do believe instructions were given to pack light.
Oh, this is light.
Okay.
I don't think it's as light as you may think.
Well,
Like for a
no,
Goliath,
no,
maybe.
I'm saying that this is light packing. It, of course, is about half of what I would usually pack for any sort of trip.
Well, which half would you pack? Torek says. Which half would you pack? The moment she gestures to a half, he's gonna huck the other half off the ship.
And it is fully a not choosing. Like, it is like a, no, I need that. I need that one. I need that one.
Take only what
Tell
you
me
need
which-
to survive.
Tell me which half.
I need that one.
Do you need this one? He picks up a.
Yes.
He picks one up.
Yeah,
Okay.
Yes, I do.
He puts it down by. He puts it down by Plug's foot. This one. Picks
Yes.
the next one up. Throws it off. He just
No.
throws it off.
Oh, there it
If
goes.
somebody could get that, that would be most beneficial.
Oh, I think
somebody
it's
could collect
thinking. I
all
don't
of
think you're going to
them.
get that anytime soon. Oh,
One.
It's-
Do you
it's
need
like
this
it's-
one?
going down.
Okay, hold on. I'm just going to find some men that are willing and able to help carry them. They can
Yes.
Yeah, all right. I'm
compensated.
going to go head off then. See you later.
Yep.
Follow Derek.
What else need some help carrying your bags up?
All right. Yeah, I'll try. Birdie will try and pick one of these things up. Are they extremely heavy?
Like ungainly and probably 75 pounds each.
Josh, what the hell did you got in here? Just smuggling animals or something? Look,
It's my most crucial rock collection.
Well, see, there's about 12 pairs of heels in there. About,
you haven't got 12 pairs of legs. What's going on?
well, I need ones to match every single outfit that's packed in there, too.
They're all
And then there's, of course, the
sinking in the water
jewelry.
over there, ma'am.
Only the one trunk is sinking. Don't touch
Yes,
any more of the
most
trunks,
of the tr-
please. And I'm gonna
Got
go
it.
ahead and get some burly men that work on the docks here to help. Can I find burly men that work on the dock?
Perception.
They have made themselves scarce as you start to wonder if maybe the 3 silver was enough.
Do I know if the Ascidian are like non-talked about in this context with like the dock workers?
The order.
Well, I have a contact. Do I know going into the ports whether their like opinions on that contact is rough or good?
Sorry, Indosian.
Indosian, yeah.
Did I typo that? No, I did not. Okay, cool.
No, I just
so
can't read.
that's the that's the Order of Indos, which are like the scholars and the secret keepers. Because of that, they're the ones who hold themselves all as like the old money elite types, where the Spirins are enforcers and police force. The Eschens do have money, but merchant money. The Indosians are in some ways the most derided just because they're so much more above everything. The scholars and professors, the rich, they would not be caught dead down on the docks unless it was for research purposes.
Gotcha. Oh, Indos, the middle spire. Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
exactly.
So I'm getting... Okay. I would not, ask the dog or anything else.
It looks
As
like
you're
in your
going,
hand.
Do I see any snakes?
You do not see any snakes.
Ah.
Sorry. But just as you're walking along, you can start to hear a crowd maybe a block away starting to grow loud as there's more shouts and protests. And then you hear a loud boom as an explosion erupts, and you can hear suddenly screams of panic. And you see a surge of people running your way, fleeing from whatever's just happened over there, as your contact of the forge seems to be caught off guard and in a panic as well. There's about 300 people running down the street straight at you. And as that explosion is going off and the panic coming from it is where we'll end for tonight.
Ooh.
Excellent.
You have so many bags, Fela.
That's with you dumping half of them.
Yeah.
I still
this
have
one-
half
yes.
of them.
This
I
one
still have
goes.
at least half, and I'm making everyone else carry them.
They could be
Question,
bludgeoning
Warren.
weapons, though.
Since we all work for Madam Emperor, do we each know like our assignments of why we're in Fano, or is it kind of like compartmentalized?
Oh, it's definitely compartmentalized, 100%.
We know each other, but we don't know what
Yeah.
each of us is sent here for.
Right.
Certainly almost
Or
all of
we
you
go for-
have met each other in some task or other, so it's not like all of you have worked together, but it's more along the concept that like Plug knows Rivik and Toric. Bodhi has worked with Fontaine before. Plug has worked with Fontaine. Fontaine might have worked with Torvik once. That kind of overlap between each other. The
Is there-
Forge, Madam Empress Forge isn't like high secrecy kind of compartmentalized, but has many facets to it,
Mhm.
which is why you haven't worked together so much, because she has so many different industries going.
So, say if I needed help in carrying out my objective, would there be like, is it a big like hush? Well, I'm guessing. I'm just asking. Like, would it be out of
Some
bounds to ask
people's
Plug for help?
some people's assignments are more hush hush than others. That's what I'll say.
Okay.
Ooh.
Oh, Hawks is struggling.
Oh, he's got some paintbrushes to clean.
Okay.
Pushed out that his internet's kind of shoddy, so.
Yeah. It was suspect that message didn't come in until after he got back also.
Oh, shit.
Oh,
Mhm.
you there? You there?
Yeah, he's back.
Hey.
Oh, yours said the same thing as mine. It went down for like a millisecond.
Similar time to when it cut out beforehand, so yeah, I don't really know. What's
Sorry
happening.
about that. We are concluding with the night, having gotten through your intros and your arrival. We were just talking about your different assignments may or may like have varying degrees of secrecy to them. Some are not at all secret. Others may be slightly more, since Madam Empress Forge has many sides to the business.
Yeah, we're all other departments. So we got our own objectives.
I don't know about you
Many
guys, but
separate facets, yeah.
I'm gonna have fun with my objectives.
Heck yeah.
But yeah, that is where we are stopping for tonight.
Hey,
Woo.
yeah.
Good stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna need to practice. Jesus.
Oh, back.
We're back. Yes, back. Yeah, okay. Yes. Yeah, I don't know what's going on. My computer doesn't seem.
I'm gonna go. I need to hunt for this fucker of a mosquito.
Yes.
Good luck in your search,
You
sir.
too. Yeah.
We'll see you all.
Kill 'em
We'll
all.
see you all next week.
Yes, indeed. And then we'll have a full session where you can all mount your own goals.
Yeah.
And ride
All
them
right,
off
all.
into the sunset.
All
Next
right,
session.
good
Not with
night.
that many bags.
The steamer trunk fiasco.
6 steamer trunks full of clothing and outfits.
5.
Each requiring
5
its own
steamer
check.
trunks.
5 technically because you sunk one.
Yes.
It
You
was glorious.
barely even noticed.
No, yeah, more or less. I was like, okay, that one had a couple like outfits in it that I might miss, but
No biggie.
no biggie. I have so many,
That was
Yeah,
two
it's
flats.
fine.
and I can get more easily.
Like the brooch of like one of the cloaks that was in there is like the black pearl. And I just dumped it off the edge, yeah.
The black item is gone.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to practice because I want to try and get a transatlantic accent down.
Yeah, I'm trying to
And I
get
want
a
to,
better accent down myself, so
yeah, I
we'll
want
work
to
on
try
it.
and,
We'll work on it together, I think.
yeah, I'm like, I want to try and do the transatlantic accent because
I
that would be really
specifically kept
cool.
my my voice out because I'm working on like a grizzled version of Jesus. Oh, who's the guy? Who's the unknown stranger in Big Lebowski with the mustache? It's Sam something.
Yeah, Sam Elliott.
Sam Elliott. Yeah.
Yeah, the Big Lebowski is my fave, so
Yeah,
Just
you know,
he's
that's why I brought it up.
still
I knew you would know it because I brought it up.
yeah, Sam Elliott. Yep, that's who you're looking for.
Yeah, I'm working on a version of that.
Big shoes,
Good
man.
luck. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you got to
Sam
watch a lot
Elliott
of
is tough.
yeah, Sam Elliott is. I mean, you got Tombstone though, and then you've also got
Roadhouse.
yep, you got Roadhouse, and then
That's-
you even have like The Last Stand. Is there?
Oh yeah, yeah.
Oh.
That's kind of where I got the inspiration for the character art for Rivik was where he's in Roadhouse and he's getting ready to fight. Puts his hair up in a ponytail.
Yeah. Nice.
All right, guys. Good night. Good night,
Night,
Steampunk.
No, Mike.
Bye.
Everybody,
Good
goodbye.
night.
Bye.